Hello everyone, it's been a while since I made a video on religion. Why not make one now? Here's a good video to respond to. Why being an atheist doesn't make sense. How much you want to bet he disabled ratings? And he did. I did not see that coming.
It makes sense to me why some people are agnostic, because they trust in certain parameters, and within those parameters the existence of a God cannot be disproven, and in their view it cannot be proven either. But atheists, a lot of them trust in the same parameters, but they conclude there is no God. One reason it doesn't really make sense to me is because they're not really going in the direction that new scientific findings lead. Rather, they're going in the direction that best suits the story they've already chosen to be true.
Oh really? Well then, please Cortez, since you're the expert here, show me these new scientific findings that help prove God is real. Spoiler alerts, he never shows them.
My question to an atheist is, how can you be sure there is no God? And I'm not talking here specifically about the God that I believe in. Just, how can you be sure? If you're like some atheist, you might claim, well, I don't know with certainty. There is just no evidence to support the existence of a God.
You know, normally I find fedora jokes funny, but you kinda ruined it for me.
I think there definitely is.
Yet you never bother to show any evidence in the video. I mean, doesn't this seem a bit counterintuitive to make a video titled, Why Being an Atheist Doesn't Make Sense, and in the video claim you think there's evidence for God, and yet not show any in the video? Wouldn't evidence give your argument a bit more substance?
But fair enough, I just wonder though, if that's the case, why focus so much on trying to explain a world without God? Let me rephrase that to make it a little clearer. If your reason for not believing God is lack of evidence, why aren't you desperately trying to find that conclusive evidence that will let you know for sure that there is no God? You can't disprove a negative, it's a waste of time. You might as well try to disprove that there is no Santa Claus or spaghetti monster. But see, we can disprove those things. There is no sign of a Santa Claus. We know where that story originated. There are no magic gifts appearing every Christmas morning, and not once have we spotted flying reindeer. And the spaghetti monster, that was just a silly concept created to show that it is silly to believe in a God, but there's not really any substance there.
Cortez, make yourself decent. Your bias is showing and it's not pleasant. How does a man in the sky who can see everything at every time have more substance than flying spaghetti monsters or invisible pink unicorns? You failed to convince me, and extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
With God, if you're willing to actually and genuinely keep an open mind, there are signs of Him everywhere, and if you're willing to look in the right places, you'll be amazed at just how real and evident He is.
I try to keep an open mind, but not enough where my brain falls out.
I find it interesting and a bit sad that atheists often claim that the burden is on religious people to prove that there is a God. That burden is on atheists. My burden is to let you know about God and His love for you.
Hold on, say that again?
My burden is to let you know about God and His love for you.
But at the beginning of this video, didn't you say this?
And I'm not talking here specifically about the God that I believe in.
Well, if we're not just talking about your God, then you should know that not every God in every religion is a loving God. In fact, some religions have multiple gods. Take Hinduism, for example. And you're a Christian, right? A lot of the things the Christian God has done don't seem that loving to me.
Why is it a burden on disproving God on the atheist? Well, if you're 100% sure that there is no God, you're just lying to yourself, because that's something that has never been proven. And if you're not sure, it's in your best interest to be sure. Because if there is no God, fine, our death is the end of it all. I lived my life the best I saw fit, and so did you. It makes no difference. But if there is a God, that means you were wrong. At which point, your only hope becomes that the major religions are all wrong about non-believers being sent to a not very pleasant place after we die. You see what I'm saying? Being atheist is very risky in that sense, especially if you don't know with a certainty that there is no God.
Cortez, your video is unoriginal enough as it is, but you just used Pascal's wager, an argument from the 1600s. I mean, this has been proven wrong so many times. Let's break this down piece by piece. Number 1. What if you believe in the wrong God? There are tons of different gods out there. If you choose the wrong one, I'll see you in hell, buddy. Number 2. The Christian God is omnipotent, right? Which means He's all-knowing and all-powerful. If that's the case, wouldn't He know which believed in Him out of faith and those who were just afraid of hell? Number 3, your argument is fallacious. It appeals to emotion. Fear, to be exact. This risk of going to hell is nothing more than a scare tactic to convince people to believe in God. How about this, Cortez? I'm going to make a book called The Ranter Bible, okay? And if you don't follow all the rules in that book, when you die, you have to hear BOTDF songs forever. So yeah, you should join us, because if you don't, you'll be stuck listening to some pretty crappy songs. So, did that convince you?
I personally rather be perceived as dumb my whole life.
Oh, don't worry about that. You're living up to that goal just fine right now.